So just found out that short hopping in Smash Bros. Ultimate is easier than in Melee for characters with the same jump squat. If you didn't already know, every character in Smash Bros. Ultimate has a 3-frame jump squat. And what that means is that when you press the jump button, your character goes into a jump squat animation where they squat down on the ground for 3 frames, and then they leave the ground on the 4th frame. In every Smash game before Ultimate, characters had varying amounts of jump squat animation. The lighter, faster characters tended to have a lower jump squat animation. They got off the ground quicker. The slower, heavier characters stayed on the ground longer, and it took them a lot longer to get off the ground after pressing jump. So I had a hunch about this, and I just wanted to test it out. So I did, and so I'll show you guys what I did to figure this out. So let's load Dolphin. Let's load 20XX. We're going to go into debug menu and load up debug ROM so we can advance the game 1 frame at a time. So if I pause it and I press the Z button, here I'll run. Now when I pause it, I can press the Z button and it'll advance the game 1 frame at a time. So if I pause it, advance 1 frame at a time. If I press the jump button and then advance the frame, I start my jump squat animation. So that's the first frame of jump squat, 2nd frame of jump squat, 3rd frame of jump squat, and then I leave the ground on the 4th frame. And it registers a short hop because I released the X button before my jump squat animation ended. So if I'm pressing jump, I'm moving to jump squat, that's the 1st frame. I keep holding it for the 2nd frame, and then I release it before the 3rd frame. I'll still get a short hop because I released it before the jump squat ended. But now, if I hold jump, there's the 1st frame of jump squat, 2nd frame of jump squat, 3rd frame of jump squat, I'm still holding X. Now I release it. Just before leaving the ground, there's the 4th frame where I left the ground. It registers a full hop. So I have to press and then release the button before that 3rd frame of jump squat in order to get a short hop. So let me close out of this. So basically I did the same testing in Ultimate. This is just a recording I'm pulling up from a capture card that I used. And I'm playing as Mario here. And basically I'm going through that same test. So I'm advancing the game 1 frame at a time. So there's the 1st frame of jump squat animation, 2nd frame, 3rd frame, and then 4th frame you leave the ground. Every character in Smash Bros. Ultimate, that's the case. So in that first jump, I was only holding it for that 1st frame. And then this next time, I hold it for the first 2 frames. 1, 2, and then I release for the 3rd frame. 4th frame, leave the ground, and you register a short hop. And then this 3rd time, now this is different from Melee. So I hold it for the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd frame of jump squat. Now I release it before the 4th frame. And unlike Melee, it registers a short hop in that case. It was 1 frame more lenient than Melee was. And then this last one, I hold jump all the way until this 4th frame. I'm still holding jump, and then I release it, and it registers a full hop. So even though Melee Fox and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Mario, or any character in Ultimate, even though they both have 3-frame jump squats, it's 1 frame easier in Ultimate. So we come back to this. Basically, all these characters with a 3-frame jump squat in Melee are harder. All these characters with a 4-frame jump squat in Melee are the same difficulty, even though their jump squat animation's 1 longer than in Ultimate. And then any character above that in Melee is going to be easier than any character in Ultimate. So I made this infograph to kind of capture everything here. The black lines register when the game is pulling your controller for inputs. So and each of these are frames, right? And there's 60 frames in a second in Melee and in Ultimate. And so in the 0th frame, we're pressing nothing, and then at some point between the 0th and 1st frame, we start pressing jump, and then the game reads that we're holding jump, and then we're still holding jump by the time the game pulls the 2nd time, and then we've released it by the 3rd frame. You'll get a short hop with Melee Fox. But if you're holding it by that 3rd frame of jump squat animation, Melee Fox will full hop. But any Smash Bros. Ultimate character will short hop. So so melee fox short hops if you hold it for 2 frames, full hops if you hold it for 3 or more. Melee Marth and any of the characters with 4 frames of jump squat animation, and all Super Smash Bros. Ultimate characters will short hop if held for 2 frames, short hop if held for 3 frames, full hop if held for 4 or more frames, basically. Melee Falco has a jump squat animation of 5 frames in Melee. Is a lot easier to short hop with. He'll still register a short hop even if you hold it for 4 frames, and only full hops when you hold it for that 5th. And then I added this little tidbit of info at the bottom. So if you want a guaranteed short hop every single time, you must press it for this long or less. Melee Fox, you have to press it for 2 frames or less, or 0.033 seconds or less. Melee Marth or Ultimate characters, 3 frames or 0.05 seconds or less. Melee Falco, 4 frames or 0.067 seconds or less. So you can see that it's definitely a lot harder to short hop with Fox and characters like that in Melee than it is in Smash Bros. Ultimate. And this last line is how long you could potentially hold the jump button for and still get a short hop. So, for instance, with Melee Fox, you could hold it almost up to 3 frames and still get a short hop some of the time. And the reason for that is that you might start pressing the jump button just a moment after the game pulls here, and you might release it just before this 3rd pull here. But as far as the game sees it, it only saw you holding the button here and holding the button here. So as far as the game's concerned, you were only holding it for 2 frames, even though you held it for 2.99 frames worth of time. So anyway, so hope this is helpful or interesting. I guess the practicality of this is just that if you play both Melee and Ultimate, it's just important to recognize that, you know, if you play Fox, it's harder in Melee and easier in Ultimate. So if you end up playing Ultimate for a while, you might find that you're having trouble short hopping when you transition back to Melee. And so just being aware of this, I think, is really helpful. And if you play Marth or Captain Falcon, then it's kind of convenient that the timing is the exact same, and you really don't have to worry about anything. And your ability to short hop is the same in both games in that case. So anyway, hope you guys found this helpful or interesting. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Bye.